You are turning in 10 minutes of BPTV News, brought to you by Bình Phước Television Station and Newspaper. I'm with you with the latest news for today. Bình Phước hold April meeting with press. Irrigation system bay off in Budang. Prime Minister suggests U.S. help Vietnam develop agriculture. Economic diplomacy urged to create more frameworks. The Bình Phước Provincial Party Committee's Information and Education Commission have held its April meeting with the press to review news coverage in March and April and orient activities in May.
Local press agencies, press representatives, and correspondents in the province produced many articles comprehensively reflecting the local socio-economic situation during the period, and noted the leading efforts of party committees and authorities at all levels. Many articles highlighted the political determination of the Provincial Party Committee in implementing political goals and tasks for 2023. In the economic field, press agencies provided information on the efforts of the provincial leaders to attract investment into the province, create the conditions necessary for investors to implement major projects, and remove any difficulties facing businesses. In the terms of culture and society, child protection, education, and care were promoted in various types of media. Assessing that the socio-economic situation will experience many challenges in the time to come, a representative from the Provincial Party Committee's Information and Education Commission suggested that press agencies promote information on solutions to resolve difficulties, highlight sound examples and new approaches, and encourage effort and determination in each citizen and business to effectively perform tasks during the year. In particular, information provision should be increased to boost the image of Bình Phước province and its implementation of the resolution from the Party Congress at all levels.
A range of scientific and technical applications have been transferred to farmers in recent times by the Agricultural Service Center of Budang District. In particular, an irrigation system proved to be a solution helping farmers improve efficiency.
The irrigation system has been deployed by the Agricultural Service Center of Budang District since 2020 in 6 localities. Each model was installed on 0.5 hectares of fruit tree area at a total cost of 14 million Vietnam dong. The effectiveness of the model can be seen from beneficiary farmers actively investing in and using the model on many different crops. It saves on labor and investment costs and especially helps ensure long-term irrigation. The success of the model in Budang proves its effect in boosting efficiency in agriculture production.
The Bình Phước Provincial Youth Union and the Provincial Department of Education and Training, in cooperation with Mobile Phone Bình Phước, have held the final round of the Concord English Beat contest for high school students.
After 4 weekly rounds, with the participation of more than 4,300 students from around the province, contest organizers determined the top 100 candidates to take part in the monthly round and then selected the 5 most outstanding candidates to proceed to the final round. In the final round, the 5 contestants went through 3 more rounds, including warm-up, acceleration, and finishing. The contest helps students gain more knowledge to confidently use English and improve their skills to achieve high scores in the National High School Graduation Exam and international certification exams such as IELTS.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on April 19 hosted a reception for United States Secretary of Agriculture Thomas Vilsack, who's on a visit to Vietnam.
Prime Minister Truyền suggested the two sides increase cooperation, especially in green digital transformation in agriculture, and diversification of markets and supply chains. He said Vietnam is willing to pave the way for the import of some U.S. farm produce. He asked the U.S. to ease unnecessary technical barriers for Vietnamese agricultural products. The U.S. Secretary affirmed that he will work with relevant agencies to facilitate Vietnam's agricultural exports to the market. He also agreed with the Prime Minister's proposal to support Vietnam in building an agricultural product irradiation center in the north.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on April 19 chaired a floor meeting of the Government Steering Committee for Administrative Reform, during which he affirmed that investing in administrative reform is not in development.
The meeting, held in person in Hanoi and connected to the 63 provinces and centrally run cities, aims to assess the implementation of administrative procedure reform associated with digital transformation. In his opening remarks, Prime Minister Truyền, who is head of the committee, highlighted important achievements gained in the work over the past time. However, there remains a lot of obstacles and bottlenecks hampering investment in production and business development and affecting the mobilization of resources for development, he added. The government leader requested relevant quarters to focus on assessing and clarifying the results, shortcomings, and weaknesses to have appropriate response measures. He asked committee members to clearly define their roles and responsibilities for the administrative reform of the country, the ministries and sectors.
A Vietnam-Australia Trade and Tourism Promotion Conference was held by Vietnam Airlines, Thinh Group and Vinbird JSC in Sydney on April 19, drew a large number of Australian businesses and travel firms from different Australian localities.
Vietnamese Consul General in New South Wales, South Australia, and Queensland Nguyễn Đăng Thắng said that right after Vietnam and Australia reopened their doors 1 year ago, the number of tourists traveling the two countries had continuously increased. Statistics from the General Statistics Office of Vietnam show that Vietnam welcomed 3.66 million foreign visitors in 2022 and 3 million in the first quarter of this year, of whom 85% arrived by air. According to Australian Bureau of Statistics, Vietnam is among the top 10 favorite destinations for Australian tourists. Many Australian travel firms said that Australian tourists are increasingly interested in Vietnam and tend to choose the Southeast Asian country for their future vacations.
Economic diplomacy should maintain and create more economic cooperation frameworks, including investment and trade agreements between Vietnam and the United States, Vietnamese ambassador to the United States Nguyễn Quốc Dũng has said.
The diplomat made the suggestion in an interview granted to the Vietnam News Agency on outcomes of the conference on the implementation of the government's action program on economic diplomacy, which took place in Hanoi last month. It's the biggest ever conference on economic diplomacy, the ambassador said, adding that it has raised the confidence of Vietnamese representative officers abroad in economic diplomacy. Noting challenges to the global economy, Sung also pointed to favorable conditions for Vietnam to tap the U.S. market. He took the examples of the U.S. diverse demand for goods and Vietnam's attractiveness in terms of geographical location, policies adopted by the government, and capacity of localities and businesses. Vietnam is working on the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity, while the U.S. plays host to the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC this year, which would facilitate economic links between the two countries, the ambassador added.
The number of tourists to the central city of Da Nang in the first 3 months of this year had recovered to the level recorded in the same period of 2019, the time before the COVID-19 pandemic broke out.
According to the Da Nang Department of Tourism, in the first quarter of this year, the city received 1.4 million visitors, up 4.6% year-on-year, including some 392,000 foreigners, 62 times higher than that in the same period last year. The average time tourists spent in Da Nang also increased to 1.66 days. The figures showed the city's strong performance in promoting its tourism development and tourism ecosystem, according to the Da Nang Tourism Association. The good results were attributed to the resumption of international air routes to the central city, alongside Da Nang has also received a large number of visitors coming by sea. In the first quarter of this year, the city welcomed 9 cruise ships with 7,300 passengers. Da Nang is working hard to seek more new tourism products to meet the increasing demands of tourists.
That is the end of our bulletin today. To rewatch this news, you can download BPTV Go or visit our website and YouTube channel. Thanks for staying with us and see you next time.